Okay, going to try something newish here in the Bitterbirds. I say newish because I kind of tried this last year, but really time-consuming, and then I got swamped during the NFL season, and then I stopped. So the same thing's probably going to happen again this year. So we'll see. But I'm going to do this. I kind of want to show you guys how I look at the game and, watch it through my eyes and through my lens and see what you guys think. I do a play-by-play scoring system where I look at everything and, grade the game and give it a star rating and look at the best players in the game. And sometimes in my scoring, the final score doesn't indicate who actually won the game, as you might see in this game. Chicago actually kind of graded very favorably in the scoring system until the end, where Green Bay snuck out with the victory in my scoring system because of the 3 and out. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Last night's NFL season opener, 2019, the 100th season of the NFL. I'll say this. It was 10-3, but it was better than the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was played by 2 completely inept offenses. What we saw last night was rust for about a quarter and a half, but we saw some really good defense being played. And how about that Green Bay bunch? An ascending defense under Mike Pettin. So they've been drafting guys for years and years and years. And finally, some of those pieces are playing out and balling out. We saw it last night, Jair Alexander. He looks like a stud. He's a number 1 cornerback in this league. He was great as a rookie. You look at Kenny Clark and what he can do on the defensive line. And the other thing that Green Bay did during this offseason was actually sign some players. This is something that they normally shy away from, going after free agents. They try to stay in-house. They give extensions, and that's how they've always run business. But this year, you pick up Preston Smith, you picked up Adrian Amos, the former Bear, and they pay immediate dividends in this football game. So, all right, so let's get to my play-by-play scoring system that I like to employ and I like to do and use. And so here's how I'm going to show you. And if you want to take a look at, I guess, a guide for this, I'm going to list it. I'm going to put it below, I guess, in the comments section. So here's where we're going to start, because the Green Bay had 3 and outs on each of their first 3 possessions, minus 12 yards in the first quarter, fewest since 1994. And Rodgers, the thing that we saw early on, really inaccurate with his passes. And so you had inaccuracy from Aaron Rodgers, and Chicago was also pressuring him with that stout front 7 of theirs. So here's where we're going to start, okay? We're going to start Green Bay 4th possession, and we're going to start with this big, deep post pattern by Scantling. So there was no safety help over the top. 3 and outs on their first 3 possessions, but finally, Aaron Rodgers hits the big play here.
Great so far tonight. Aaron Rodgers finally has some time. He's going to air that deep downfield.
Okay, so it's lagging a little bit. But so here's what happened on that play. Scantling got the separation at the top of the route. There was no safety help, and a great throw by Aaron Rodgers. Then here's the touchdown. Jimmy Graham boxes out his defender in the back right corner of the end zone. You had 2 Green Bay Packers within the vicinity, and luckily they get the touchdown. So there you go. Jimmy Graham. Looks like a Jimmy Graham-type touchdown, huh? Boxing out his defender just like his old days at Miami. Okay, so let's get back to the notebook, and let's go to this. All right. So I love some of these formations that Matt Nagy uses. And one of the things that he was doing yesterday was he was triple stacking. Not double stacking. He was triple stacking. So here's what this means. Gun 1 forward, tri-stack slot. This basically means 1 receiver to the left, 4 to the right, and then you got a triple stack in the right slot. So that's what that means. All right. Here's the play here. So here are the plays I'm going to show you. Allen Robinson, this play here where he goes up and gets it along the left sideline. You're going to see him take a hard inside jab before releasing across the face of Tony Brown and setting himself up with a lot of terrain on the left sideline. So check this out. Perfect throw by Mitch Trubisky. Oh, Mitchell Trubisky, I should say. Mitchell Trubisky. So here we go. You're going to see the hard inside jab and then all the terrain right here to work with. That sets the hard inside jab sets him up. You can see Tony Brown is off balance, and that allows him to get the separation right away. And a perfect throw by Trubisky lets him get outstretched and makes the play along the left sideline for a 20, I believe this is a 27-yard completion. So there's that. Okay, so 3rd and 1 here. Kenny Clark, lightning quick swim move. We're going to see it right here. Woo! Look at that big boy move. Oh. So let's check this out again if you were able to see it. Let's go back. And we're going to slow this down. So here he is. Let's slow it down. Man, he's so quick. Look at that. I couldn't even slow it down. That was real quick. That is a big boy right there. And to have a swim move like that, that's really impressive. Okay. So obviously, lots and lots of defense in this game. Lots and lots of big plays on that side of the ball. So this guy right here, Roy Robertson Harris, he's in his 3rd season, and he was balling out last night. I'm not sure how many of you guys actually know who he is, but causing pressure, causing a lot of havoc. And this was an instance where he bull rushed on the center, and Hicks also with a bull rush, so just overpowering the offensive line of Green Bay, and they register a sack on this particular play. So let's take a look at that and what happened here. So, I guess we had a play here where a pair of plays by Robertson Harris. So I missed this play here when I didn't bold it, but so this is here. He plays this perfectly. The run. He's in the backfield again, and then here's the sack where he and Hicks converge on Aaron Rodgers. So 3rd and 14. I remember this play. This is where Darnell Savage plays the stop route perfectly. He shows off instincts here. Darnell Savage looking like a player here for Green Bay. Yep. So breaks on the football. Great play by Savage. Okay, so what happens here? 2nd and 4. Oh, yeah, there's Kyle Fuller. So you can see, man, I mean, defensive plays are being made. Now, Aaron Rodgers might have telegraphed that one a little bit. Fuller was sitting on this play. But we saw a lot of plays being made defensively, not only by pressuring with the defensive lines and the front sevens of both teams, but seeing some plays being made in the secondary as well. So Kyle Fuller on one side for Chicago. Devontae Adams really didn't do much. And then Jair Alexander was the guy who was doing big things for Green Bay. So let's get back to the notebook. And, you can see here in the scoring, Chicago is leading. Chicago actually led for most of the game in my scoring, but it wasn't until this final 3 and out that Green Bay took the lead in my scoring. So that, but it just shows sometimes in these scorings, the team that is controlling the game isn't necessarily the team that's winning the game. So, but this last night, I mean, Trubisky was making some poor decisions, but Green Bay for the most part was really bringing it defensively. Okay, so where are we at here? Okay, so we saw Fuller on Adams. We saw that play, and okay, we're not going to show the end of the half. So this was an opportunity here for Green Bay because Trubisky gave Aaron Rodgers a Hail Mary attempt. And we know what Aaron Rodgers can do with a Hail Mary. So a TE stunt, Trubisky rolled away from the pressure. He stepped out of bounds to staying inbounds. That saved Green Bay a timeout, and that let them, they had the ball with 15 seconds. They got a completion to Jimmy Graham, but, obviously this Hail Mary fell incomplete. Okay, start the second half. Nothing for Chicago. They go 3 and out. Dean Lowry made a play here where he got some push through the middle. He hit Trubisky as he threw the ball. And let's fast forward here a little bit in the highlights as we take a look at some of these plays. So you can see getting that push through the middle, little bull rush action, and that forces the incompletion. All right, so let's kind of take a look at what happens here. And the thing that you saw out of Green Bay last night is I believe that was Robertson Harris again. Man, he was just everywhere. So let's see. Oh, yeah, he just sliced right in there. Wow. He was a freaking menace. He was all over the place last night. 3rd and 15. What happens here? This is the sack by Leonard Floyd. So David Bakhtiari, who had 2 holds all of last season, had 2 holds last night, but he did take care of Khalil Mack for most of the game. But this particular play right here, you can see, look at this. Ooh. You can tell before he even gets his hands on Bakhtiari that he's going to lift him up and push him backwards. Look at this torque. Look at the leverage here. And that arm placement is perfect, right on the numbers. So push him back. Get the sack. Leonard Floyd. Oh, yeah. 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1. This is stuffed. This is stuffed. And there we go. We see Kenny Clark getting in the backfield, slicing into the backfield again. Let's see what happens here. 2nd and 10 for Rodgers. Oh, this is an Aaron Lynch sack. So both of these teams were just trading blows, trading sacks, and that would push the chains backwards. Allen Robinson getting the position here along the left sideline. Back shoulder ball. Good ball by Trubisky. As we're here late in the 3rd quarter. Okay, so we had I remember this. So I believe this was 2 plays in a 3-play span. So we had 28 yards there. And then here's David Montgomery running the seam route. Wide open there. So they're at the 35, but they're at the 37, but they go for a 4th and 10. Trubisky can't get the first down. So I remember when this happened, I was wondering why they didn't send Pinheiro out there for a field goal. It was tough sledding in this game. There were no points being scored. Cody Parkey isn't the kicker anymore. I don't know. Okay, so let's check it out. 1st and 10 for Green Bay. Okay, I remember this. So this was the first time in the game where Green Bay was actually able to generate some traction on the ground. So you had 9 yards on that first down carry from Jones. You have a nice carry here, back-to-back stretch plays, nice cutback and vision shown by Jones on that first down run. But then nothing here. So this is a great play by Eddie Jackson. Look at him fly the ball on this play. So you had back-to-back good runs by Jones, but then, this play blown up. And here you go. There you go. Look at him flow the ball. Flow the ball. Perfect. Times it perfectly. Great instincts. So we're early in the 4th now. I guess this is how I'll do it. I'll just show the highlights, and I'll go back to the notebook later. So Allen Robinson, again, wide open on a crossing route. He had over 100 yards in this game. This was a beautiful throw by Trubisky. So Jair Alexander, pretty good coverage on the deep comeback route. Boot action from Trubisky to Taylor Gabriel. So you can see let's see what kind of route he gets from here. Top of your screen. Okay, so he shows the out, breaks it off, and the comeback. So, okay. So he went out and up and then a comeback. And here is another sack in this football game. No, it's not. Okay. This is what this was. This was the pass interference, the offensive pass interference call on Taylor Gabriel. So they had a 1st and 40 on this possession. So obviously you don't score here. So here's Green Bay again. Deep play action. And there's a wide open receiver. So they started at the 6-yard line, and this is their field goal drive. So we're going to see Rodgers break off to the right here. He finds his open man. This is the 3rd-string tight end. Tonley, I believe this was. I couldn't even tell you who the hell that was. Aaron Jones, the toss to the left. We get some traction here and gets Green Bay in the field goal range. So this is obviously a big 39-yard field goal for Mason Crosby. Nails it. So Chicago obviously has to go down, score the touchdown. It's 3rd and 10. And Trubisky fires, and he hits the open Allen Robinson again. So Robinson, again, having a huge night. 3rd and 10. Picked off in the back of the end zone. Adrian Amos, the former Bear. And we can see here's Chris Collinsworth breaking this down. So single high, reads Trubisky's eyes, ranges over, and makes the play. Okay, so I remember this. So this was late in the game, minutes, 53 seconds left. I was curious, like, what are you doing, Green Bay? You had a first and 10 where you pick up 5 yards in a run play, and then you call this quick out sprint play to the right, and he throws it behind, and he stopped the clock. So Chicago didn't have to use a timeout. Minute 9 on the clock, and this ends it as the Smith brothers, not related, come down with the sack. Okay, so I guess that's how we'll do this. We'll show the notebook first, and then we'll go into the highlights. This is the first time doing this, so I really had no freaking clue what I was doing. But you can see here, both these teams, they played 12 possessions, pretty much 12 possessions. You had a kneel here for the 13th. So the average possessions in a game you're going to have is 12, so they met that. But in terms of the scoring series, so in those 12 possessions, you're going to see about 5 scoring series. You see teams score about 40 to 44% of the time. So scoring series meaning touchdown or field goal. And in this game, obviously, we only had 3 total scoring series in the entire game. So this was a defensive slugfest. This felt like a game in the late 1910s, 1920s. I mean, it's 100 years of the NFL, and this was a game back from 1919, basically, all the defense being played. You can see I kind of wrote down some names of guys who really stood out. Oh, I guess I could go and show you guys the highlights of the beginning of the game. So I could do that since I started and I didn't start in the beginning. So Roquan Smith was the guy who was really all over the place early on. And he's just seeing things so quickly right now in his second year. So those were back-to-back plays by him. And then 3rd and 10, this is a sack, I believe. There you go. So a sack. And there's Robertson Harris once again. 3rd and 9 for Trubisky. And we get Blake Martinez on an A-gap blitz. So, again, you can see a lot of these highlights, lots and lots of sacks. Nowhere to go for Aaron Jones as Chicago's run defense was very formidable early on. Here's another sack. 2nd and 6. Here's David Montgomery. So a nice little cutback run for him. He made a couple plays. Oh, this was great when they cheered Pinheiro for making the kick. You kind of hear it there. Okay, so you could this is just showing like how inaccurate Aaron Rodgers was early on in this football game. Look at this quick slant. Like, what is that? What the hell is that? Tight coverage, good coverage by Mukamara. 3rd and 5. This is another poor throw. This is an out route to Devontae Adams. And you can see it's wide of the target. So that's not typical of Aaron Rodgers. Here you can see, here's David Montgomery fighting, scratching, clawing for every single inch. And that's what he's going to be doing in Chicago. Broke a lot of tackles at Iowa State. There's Jair Alexander making a pass breakup on the curl route, little stop route, curl route, all over that. 3rd and 9. Trubisky, this is the play where he almost got picked off by Kevin King. So now we've seen all the highlights because we're back to where Aaron Rodgers is airing it out to Marquez Valdes-Scantling. So the highlights are done. The first game of the season is done. And we have that. So, okay, all right, let's go back to the notebook. So I gave this game 1.5 stars. For a game that's 10-3, you're normally not going to see 1.5 stars. But I thought that this game was actually well played defensively. So this wasn't something where, obviously both offenses are clearly rusty, but the defenses were on point. The defenses played really well. There was not a lot of space or separation being created by these wide receivers. So there's that. So I gave it 1.5 stars. If you're wondering what the hell that means, so I grade games out of 5 stars. A 3-star game is basically, 3 stars and up are good football games. This did not get that because it wasn't a good football game. It was a defensive slugfest that had some poor execution offensively at times. So if the offense is executed better, this would have been higher rated. So 79-77, Green Bay wins. You can see some of my standout players. And those are my thoughts on this game. So we'll see how this turns out. I have no idea how this is going to look other than I did this on the fly. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. Chicago, Green Bay. Green Bay picks up the win, 10-3. And that's it for this one. Adrian Fetke, out.